It's been said throughout history that perception is reality. How an individual perceives the world may be what their reality is to them, but it doesn't make it true in the literal sense.
This is gonna go great.
Say you have a number 9 sitting on a table. Two people see it from opposite ends and see it differently. To the person standing at the bottom of the 9, it appears as it should. It's a 9. To the person standing on the opposite side of the table, that 9 is a 6. The second person knows what a 6 is, knows its value, and what it looks like. Person 2 argues that the number on the table is a 6 because to him, it is. But the fact remains, it was always meant to be a 9.
Perception is not, in fact, reality, and it never has been. In 2016, the year of all years, Donald Trump rode into the White House largely on his reputation as a multi-billionaire, big business tycoon. His name is a brand that was synonymous with wealth, success, and opulence. Whether it was true made no difference. People saw him and thought it would be a benefit to them having a successful businessman behind the Resolute desk.
While his name meant one thing to the general public, it meant something very different in actual business and real estate circles. Many corporate CEOs, real estate moguls, and respected financial experts describe Donald Trump as a poor man's idea of what a rich man should be. He wasn't respected. His name in those circles represented shady business practices, stiffing contractors for work provided, untrustworthy associates, and poorly thought out get-rich-quick schemes. Many people who have dealt with him would have had no problem referring to Trump as a con artist, and many have done so.
He has never released his tax returns, as is the norm with presidential candidates, nor did he divest himself from his businesses, which raised too many conflicts of interest for us to discuss. Recently, stories have flooded the media about his debts, which tally over $400 million, kind of up to $1 billion now, but you're right, over 420 million. It's true. Many of which are reportedly coming due soon after the election. Before the election in 2016, his sons bragged that he had made most of his money from Russian interests before the investigations into Russian interference into the election even began.
Trump likes to describe himself as a self-made billionaire who became a billionaire all on his own. But that isn't reality either. Trump was a millionaire by the age of 8 due to trust funds set up by his dad. At 17, Trump was given part ownership of an apartment building in Manhattan. And as soon as he left college, he was given what amounted to $1 million a year as Fred Trump's employee. All of this is fine and is part of having rich parents, but it flies in the face of the self-made man narrative that Trump presents.
Hashtag small loan. Thanks to the seemingly never-ending supply of money that remains from his father's estate, Trump has never had to file for personal bankruptcy. He has also had some business successes such as Trump Tower, Trump Golf Courses, the Grand Hyatt Hotel in New York City, as well as various real estate holdings. And in the grand tradition of P.T. Barnum, Trump has profited from his brand that is his last name, licensing it to several third parties selling different products. He has, however, left a long line of failed or bankrupted businesses and less than above board money making schemes in his wake, which we will take a look at today.
Sure will. Trump University. Well, we might as well start with the big one first. Launched in 2005, Trump University, or the Trump Wealth Institute, as it was sometimes called, was sold as an opportunity to get inside the mind of a true business genius and learn the secrets of his amazing success. People paid thousands of dollars, some over $30,000, to have the chance to learn from the man himself. What they ended up getting wasn't exactly what they paid for.
The classes, you're gonna see this a lot in this video, amounted to nothing more than how to get rich seminars hosted by motivational speakers, many of whom had no degree in business, and some with criminal records.
Cool.
At the front of the room was a cardboard cutout of Donald Trump. This scam has resulted in Trump settling for $25 million to resolve 2 different class action suits brought on by former students.
Oh, no.
Also, apologies, guys. I don't have anything in my teeth. My lip just has a cut on it.
What?
There's a cut on my lip, and it looks like I have something in my teeth.
Oh. That's what you want them to think.
I mean, yeah, because it's the truth.
Trump Airlines. It was 1989. Little Mike was 3 years old, and Donald Trump wanted to own an airline. He raised $365 million through multiple loans from a number of banks to purchase the struggling Eastern Airlines shuttle service. This part of Eastern Airlines was not a national service, however, as it only ran shuttle flights between New York, Boston, and Washington, D.C., and catered to mostly business-related day travelers. In his mind, Trump figured that having an airline would go well with his other travel-based ventures.
Through the purchase, Trump received 21 Boeing 727s and the routes the Eastern Shuttle had owned. He spent $1 million on plane refurbishment, which meant installing gold bathroom fixtures along with other gold enchantments to the cabins. He wanted leather seats and had marble sinks installed, which were far too heavy for the aircraft, so they settled for fake marble sinks instead. Seeing how expensive it was for a plane to be decked out in all kind of luxury, Trump demanded he looked for other areas where money could be saved. Trump's suggestion was to fly with a reduced flight cockpit crew.
Oh no.
An FAA no-no.
Oopsie doodles.
He had no problem paying for a string of quartet to serenade travelers, but mechanical and maintenance didn't seem flashy enough to keep his attention. He slapped Trump-branded decals on the outside of the plane, and away they went.
It's all with him. It is all about looks, not functionality.
That sounds about right.
He also faced stiff competition from then air travel giant Pan Am. Pan Am also ran a successful shuttle service. To fight his competition, Trump poached the Pan Am shuttle president to come run his service. Then, he did what Trump always does. He started attacking and demeaning his competition. He began taunting Pan Am about financial struggles, which there was no proof they were having any, saying that those struggles may affect their plane's mechanical safety and stability. He started talking about how unsafe Pan Am planes were, only to be chastised by the man he originally poached.
And then one of his planes made an emergency landing due to faulty landing gear.
It was probably made out of marble.
And another had to dump most of its fuel to make a crash landing, which destroyed the entire bottom of the aircraft.
Oh, all the gold.
Trump put all the blame on the man who chastised him, firing him and taking none of the blame for himself. What? No. Don't say it ain't so.
Other issues began to arise, and after 18 months, it had lost a whopping $126 million.
That's a lot of money.
Trump essentially washed his hands of the whole thing, leaving his major partner, Citibank, to try to sell the shuttle service to a company called U.S. Air Shuttle, which fell through. Trump had guaranteed $135 million of his personal money to the project, but negotiated that down by $110 million. After a deal was reached and another airline was contracted to run the airline for 10 years under a different name, Trump owed $25 million. The banks ate the rest of his losses.
Oh. Trump mortgage. Being the business genius that he is, Trump felt that the best time to get into the mortgage loan business was in late 2006. He told everyone that would listen, which unfortunately was probably a lot of people, that he knew it was a great time to get in the mortgage business because it was going to be strong for a very long time. It made sense to him because many companies were selling high interest rate mortgages to underqualified customers. Also, big at this time was people who were buying houses under market value, flipping those houses, and then making thousands in profit. People saw television shows about house flipping and figured, yeah, why not?
Soon after giving house loans to people these banks knew couldn't make the payments due to fluctuating interest rates that would raise payments severely after a year or two, they sold these loans to secondary investors who wanted to make a quick buck themselves. The house flippers thought they could buy trashed houses, add a bucket of paint and some new fixtures, and make a quick turnaround sale for a huge profit. Trump loves a good get-rich-quick scheme, so of course, he thought it was a good time to get involved.
Now, but investors on Wall Street had seen the bubble getting ready to burst for quite a while. They knew that the market was unsustainable. 18 months later, the housing bubble, sure enough, burst, and Trump Mortgage was shuttered. In interviews, Trump also did a bit of retconning his involvement, saying he was never a part of the management team, while at the same time laying the blame at their feet, saying that they underperformed.
Oh, goody gumdrops. I might need some of this after all these.
This is probably what you were drinking if you voted for him.
Trump vodka. One of the many things Trump brags about is that he doesn't drink. He cites the struggles and early death of his beloved brother, Fred Trump Jr., as his reason for staying away from all booze. It's one of Trump's admirable traits that he has stuck to this conviction his entire life, but it kind of makes you wonder why he would license his name to a company called Drinks America to sell their brand of vodka made in the Netherlands. Well, the answer to that one was easy. Trump told Larry King on his show, Larry King Live, that he didn't drink, didn't really approve of drinking, but someone's gonna make money selling it, so why not me? So, that's some real integrity right there.
After a big glitzy event to announce the vodka to the world, it hit the market. Donald, who was supposed to be the main attraction of his own event, didn't show, and instead sent a video message. Just like the debate. While promoting the spirit...
No, he ran away from that completely.
That's true. While promoting the spirit, he would regularly tell interviewers that he had no idea what it tasted like. Maybe it was good. He didn't know. He would also tell people to drink up and have fun, but not too much fun. Nothing like having your killjoy grandpa give you party tips.
Scandal happened swiftly.
Really?
At the release event, promo pictures were snapped of various women licking the big ice sculptured tea and serving drinks. One of those pictures was of a topless woman with the words Trump Vodka scrawled across her chest. She was 17.
It's no wonder that they had trouble selling the product. Eventually, the distillery was closed and the operation was moved to China to save costs. They stiffed the bottle makers on their contracted fee for producing the special bottles the vodka was sold in, so the bottle maker refused to send them any more. Instead, choosing to melt them down, producing other products for other companies.
Trump took all the blame for his part in mishandling the promotion of the vodka. No, he didn't. I'm just kidding. Trump blamed everyone else because he didn't care enough to make sure that something that carried his name would be quality. In the end, Drinks America was forced to sell off most of its company. The distiller was forced to go out of business, the glass company that produced the bottles was stiffed on their bill, and Trump sued for $4.8 million for lost licensing fees.
I see.
I hate. That's it. Just I hate.
Oh, are you a Trump supporter?
Yeah, maybe.
Trump casinos. Casinos are money-making machines. That is literally all they do. If you have the money to open one and you know anything about running a business, you have no choice but to make money. You cannot lose owning a casino because in the end, the house always wins. That's like the first top 5 rules of the casino. Yeah. That is the business model of a casino. Slick DJ Trump. Slick DJ Trump figured out a way. Trump filed for bankruptcy on just his Atlantic City casinos on 3 separate occasions.
The first casino he bankrupted was the Atlantic City Trump Taj Mahal. In 1991, only one short year after opening, Trump's Taj Mahal was already $3 billion in debt. In 2001, Trump returned to court to file for bankruptcy for not only the previously bailed out Taj Mahal, but also for his Trump Marina Casino and the Trump Plaza Casino. These casinos had piled up $1.8 billion in unpayable debts and needed to be bailed out.
These casinos were absorbed into a company called Trump Entertainment Resorts Incorporated in an attempt to save the businesses and the jobs involved.
Terry.
I hate that. But 4 years later...
Short years.
4 short years later...
We don't want to get him off. We don't want to get him off either.
Trump Entertainment Resorts Incorporated, Terry, also went belly up, and Trump washed his hands. I feel like we're going to be using that phrase a lot. He washed his hands of the whole thing. Left in its wake was an Atlantic City that was a bit of a ghost town, and contractors who had never been paid for the work they completed for Trump. But Trump made out just fine, so happy ending there.
Oh, we did it, guys. Oh, we're the best. Various endorsement deals.
Good to see we're getting specific.
Because he never learned to use his inside voice, or what he should or shouldn't say in public, Trump ended up costing himself millions when he called people of Mexican immigrants rapists and criminals. Many companies broke ties with Trump and his licensed brands. Mattress company Serta stopped selling Trump-branded mattresses, costing him up to $5 million annually. Macy's ended Trump's menswear line, again costing him between $1 and $5 million. Macy's also dropped the Trump cologne line. Ugh. The cologne maker also dropped Trump from his deal, leaving Success by Trump and Empire by Trump without a branding.
You know, it's really easy to boycott Trump products because they all suck anyways.
It's true.
But perhaps the most devastating to Trump's ego was NBC's decision to move away from Trump as the host of The Apprentice, which made him over $15 million for each season.
So you're saying he was fired?
He was fired.
Sometimes a business is successful, and sometimes it isn't. That's just the way it goes. But if someone's going to build themselves up as a genius in the business world, they really should have more than unfiltered bragging to back the claims up. Make no mistake, Trump is a master salesman when it comes to himself. He has turned what was essentially the story of a regular kid born into a regular family who built himself into a triumphant business tycoon and A-list media personality and rode that made-up story all the way to the White House. That's how he perceives himself. But as we stated earlier, perception is not reality. Trump is a spoiled little rich boy who always got his way, was doted on by his mother, and was continually financed and bailed out by his incredibly wealthy father. Nothing more. That is the end of our list. I do have one honorable mention for failed Trump
endeavors,
his entire presidency.
You know, I don't have anything to top that. That's good. End the video there. Social media and all that jazz.
All right, guys. So thank you for joining us for this. We know it's going to be a little bit controversial with some people, but most of our fans are probably, on our side with this.
Okay.
But if you want to keep supporting us, check out our Patreon. And also, one really good way to do that and to kind of help yourself a little bit, we have a store. So all that's in the description below. Buy some Okay Thank You merchandise. It's awesome. Rock some t-shirts, rock a bath mat, whatever. Just hold the bath mat.
Oh, we were selling rocks for a moment.
Get the official Okay Thank You rock.
And if you want to support this country, go out and vote.
Seriously.
Look, I know that he's not perfect, but we all need to unite right now. I was actually... Other way. No, Trump's not perfect. Trump's a disaster. Guys, our country is in trouble. He wasn't my first choice, but Joe Biden is the best fighter we have right now.
Yeah.
Okay, Thank You officially endorses Joe Biden for whatever that's worth.
For whatever he's doing. I'm like, running for president.
So, seriously, guys, let's put any petty differences we have aside, unite to vote for Joe Biden in 2020. After that, we can focus on doing smaller things that will add up. But right now, we need Trump out of the White House. So please, join us in this fight and go ahead and do it.
Well, there he goes. Joe Biden now has his biggest endorsement ever. We did it.
We did it.
Forget everyone else. He's got Okay Thank You's endorsement. What else does he need?
Hell yeah.